Some meetings feel like destiny, but they're actually the beginning of your unraveling. You meet someone, and your soul trembles. You think, this is the person God sent me. Everything feels right at first. The way they look at you, the connection, how you feel. But slowly, that light shifts. Care becomes control. Listening turns to silence. And love, the very thing that opened your heart, becomes a prison you can't escape. Your soul cries for help, but you can't let go because you believe if you just love enough, give enough, endure enough, they'll go back to who they were. What you don't realize is that they were never meant to stay. Their purpose was to wake you up. God teaches in strange ways. He doesn't only speak through beauty, he whispers through wounds. Sometimes, he allows a narcissist into an empath's life, not as punishment, but as a mirror. A mirror showing you the parts of yourself you've never truly seen, the boundaries you never set, the no you never learned to say, the old belief that love only counts when you suffer for it. Jung said it perfectly. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. That wrong person is destiny's instrument. They touch what's hidden inside you and drag it into the light. They don't come to destroy you, they come to shatter the mask you thought was your real self. When they leave, you think you've lost everything, but that moment of collapse is when God begins his greatest work, rebuilding your soul. Only when you've melted into the ashes of your illusions can he reshape you into someone who knows how to love without fear, give without losing yourself, and be alone while staying whole. Meeting the wrong person isn't a mistake. It's a sacred invitation to walk through suffering and into the journey where God breaks you before bringing you back together. The shattering. When an empath loves, they don't just love with their heart, they love with their entire soul. They see wounds in others and can't turn away. They believe that if they're just more patient, softer, more forgiving, the other person will change. And right there, in that beautiful beginning, tragedy takes root. A narcissist often appears like destiny. They're attentive, they really see you, and they say exactly what you've waited years to hear. No one's ever understood me like you do, or you make me feel at peace. You believe it because empaths want to believe in goodness. But that's when the trap snaps shut, using your own need for love against you. Then things shift. Sweet messages fade. Care turns into surveillance. Those tender eyes now look at you like you're a problem. When you ask what's wrong, you're too sensitive. When you hurt, it's your fault. When you cry, they turn away. And each time, you try harder, thinking if you just love a little more, sacrifice a little more, they'll finally see your sincerity. Love becomes a one-way race. You can't sleep because of their distance. You reread old texts looking for where you messed up. You smile when you don't want to. You stay quiet when you should speak anything to keep the peace. Bit by bit, you disappear inside your own relationship. No real laughter, no identity, no energy. Your body's there, but your soul is exhausted. A narcissist doesn't kill you with violence, they kill you with contradictions. One day they adore you, the next they're ice. They twist your mind into self-doubt. Am I too sensitive? Is this my fault? You start apologizing for things you didn't do, molding yourself into who they want, forgetting who God made you to be. But God sees what we can't. Loving the wrong person isn't punishment, it's exposure. To us, breaking looks like failure. To God, breaking is initiation. We see loss. He sees liberation. We see betrayal. He sees awakening. Because without that collapse, your soul would never leave the illusions it's lived in for too long. He knows you'll be hurt, but he allows it not because he's cruel, but because no light is born in comfort. The narcissist comes to expose what's buried. Your fear of abandonment, your hunger for approval, the habit of tying your worth to someone else's gaze. These are the most delicate chains, and only through love and loss do you realize you were bound. God watches not with pity, but with a potter's patient love. When you break, he doesn't rush to pick up the pieces. He waits for the moment you whisper, "I can't save anyone while I'm falling apart." He knows if he touches you too soon, you'll run back, chasing someone who can't love you, trying to fix what's already broken. So he lets you sit in the ruins. In those shards, you finally see yourself clearly. Pain isn't an ending, it's an entryway into awareness. When everything outside collapses, you're forced to look within. You touch a sacred stillness that only souls who've been to the abyss truly understand. You were never abandoned. You were being called home. The healing. There's a stage after leaving a narcissist that every empath fears, empty yet full of ghosts. Your body has left, but your soul remains stuck. You don't speak or meet anymore, yet their energy lingers like fog through your mind. You hear their voice in dreams, see their outline in strangers. Worst of all, you still react to them even though they're gone. This is when God begins healing you by making you face what you tried to forget. He doesn't erase memories with miracles, he shines awareness into every hidden corner. He doesn't dry your tears. He lets you cry until you understand those tears aren't weakness, they're purification. Empaths believe they were wounded because they loved the wrong person. But the truth is, the wrong person only revealed the places within you that were never loved. The fear of abandonment didn't start with this relationship. It started in childhood when you learned love had to be earned by pleasing others. Feeling not enough didn't come from their insults, it came from that inner voice shaped by years of trying to be seen. The narcissist just pressed play on a tape you never dared to rewind. And God whispers through the pain, "Don't hate them. They're showing you the places you've never embraced yourself." God's healing isn't gentle. It's like he places you on the operating table of the soul, not to add more pain, but to remove toxins embedded deep within. You feel exhausted, lost, even tempted to go back because at least familiar pain was predictable. But he's patient. He doesn't drag you from the pit. He lights it up, letting you find your own way up. Only when you climb with your own strength does faith take root. One day, you wake up and realize what hurts isn't that person anymore, it's how you abandoned yourself. You ache because you begged for love like someone begging for water in the desert while God waited inside you, holding a well that never runs dry. God teaches you that forgiveness isn't erasing someone's wrongdoing, it's releasing your soul's energy from them. Forgiveness isn't reconciliation, it's reclaiming your freedom. When you no longer need an apology or acknowledgement, you feel lighter. Not because you forgot, but because you finally see clearly. That's when God pours a different kind of love into you, a love without condition, rising from within. Quiet and steady, like a small flame in your chest, helping you fall in love again with simple things. Morning warmth, fresh coffee, a child's laughter. You see God not just in churches, but in every breath, every breeze, every ordinary moment. He never took love away, he just redirected it from others back to you. Jung said, "Healing comes only from that which leads the soul back to its origin." God isn't restoring you to who you used to be, that version was shaped by fear. He's guiding you back to your original design, where your soul knew how to love without losing itself, how to give without running empty. Your scars aren't symbols of damage anymore. They're God's signature on your soul, proof you walked through fire and weren't consumed. Every tear was holy oil washing away inner darkness. And in the silence, you feel what only shattered souls understand. God didn't break you to punish you. He broke you to remake you, to heal what humanity couldn't, and to make your heart clear enough to reflect his light once more. The alignment. After the pain settles, a different stillness appears, not the heavy silence of loneliness, but peaceful quiet with direction. You stop asking, "Why did this happen to me?" and start asking, "What is this trying to teach me?" That's when God recalibrates your soul's frequency, helping you remember why you're really here. Every empath is born not just to love, but to heal, guide, and spread light. Yet that light only becomes pure when it's been refined through darkness. You're no longer looking for someone to complete you, you're seeking to complete the mission your soul was given. What once hurt you becomes raw material for wisdom. You use your experiences to help others stand up from where you once collapsed. Old wounds become your compass. Where you once bled, you now shine. Jung said, "The wound is the place where the light enters you." Now that light doesn't just illuminate you, it lights the way for others. God never wastes suffering. He turns it into the substance of service. When you act for something larger than yourself through honest sharing, kind gestures, or living in alignment with your values, you step into alignment, where your will unites with God's will. You're no longer dragged around by old emotions. You move with clarity, guided by a sense of rightness. New relationships and opportunities only matter if they resonate with your true values. Everything misaligned quietly falls away, no conflict, no struggle. Letting go isn't a loss anymore. It's energy being purified. You don't hold on to people who make you smaller because you know what's real never requires force. The empath's rising isn't loud, it's like sunrise after a long night. Not rushed, not announced, it just shines. You live with deep presence, not needing to be noticed. Yet anyone near you feels quiet strength. That's the sign of harmony between you and the divine. When your soul balances love and wisdom, emotion and boundaries, God carries you into destiny's synchronized flow. You realize love isn't the destination, it's the natural result of spiritual alignment. When you live in your purpose, true love finds you the way a river finds the ocean. You stop asking, "When will that person arrive?" and gently whisper, "When I'm truly myself, everything right for me will appear on its own." And just like that, in the calm breath of the present moment, you sense something approaching softly, quietly, unmistakably. Another soul who's walked through their own darkness, being guided by God toward you, not to complete you, but to stand beside you in service of the light, the divine union. Then one day, when you're no longer searching, when your heart has returned to stillness, something extraordinary happens. No sign, no lightning strike romance, just an ordinary moment. A glance, a conversation, a coincidence so perfectly timed it makes you smile. Your soul knows what your mind doesn't. This is divine synchronicity, where God arranges meetings through frequency alignment. Unlike past relationships, this doesn't start with an emotional high. It comes gently, like a breath, naturally as sunrise. Your heart doesn't race, you feel peace spreading through you. No fear of losing, no craving to possess. This person doesn't make you addicted, they make you calm. This isn't the love of two souls searching from a place of lack. It's the union of two souls who've already found themselves. Every detour that made you cry was part of a sacred map leading to this moment. Every separation, every lonely night, all arranged with precision, like offbeat notes that together form a perfect melody. Jung called this synchronicity a meaningful coincidence where events become the universe's language. You can't explain why this person arrived at this exact time, why everything fits, but deep down you feel, this is home. Not because they're perfect, but because the energy between you is healed. When two souls have walked through their own darkness, they don't come together to possess each other, they reflect each other's light. They don't need promises because presence itself is commitment. You don't just talk about wounds anymore, you co-create the future. This bond doesn't burn you out, it nourishes you. It doesn't erase who you are, it makes you more clearly yourself. When love comes from God, it doesn't make you smaller, it expands you. This love isn't just emotion, it becomes a living ritual, a silent worship where two hearts become an altar for light. No power games, no desire to possess, no fear of losing. Just full presence, the sense you're standing inside something so sacred it needs no name. The empath who once loved through sacrifice, now loves through peace. They don't try to heal anyone because they understand every soul has its own journey. This love requires no chasing, no clinging, no striving. It stands firm through awareness and honesty. When you touch this person, you don't feel a storm, you feel warm light spreading through your chest. Not excitement, but home. Not fireworks, but depth. Not a temporary attraction, but eternal stillness. This is love that doesn't need a name because it doesn't belong to language. It's two souls recognizing God in each other. The truth. In the end, you realize God never sends the wrong person to hurt you. He sends them to help you see yourself. Love isn't reward or punishment. It's the language God uses to speak to the soul. Sometimes through sweetness, sometimes through shattering, because it's only through the cracks that light can enter. What you thought was loss was actually release. He removes what no longer aligns, not to empty you, but to make space for what's sacred. And when you stop asking, why did this happen? You hear a quiet voice inside. Because I want you to know you're already enough. You don't need anyone to complete you. You were created from light. Rebirth doesn't arrive on a sunny morning. It arrives in the nights when you sit alone and choose to believe pain has purpose, peace will return, and an unseen force is rewriting your story, not through tragedy, but through intention. When you no longer look for someone to fill the emptiness, when you stop chasing what's left, you feel unfamiliar peace. Not because everything is as it was, but because you no longer need it to be. Your soul stands upright in the ashes, quiet, radiant. God didn't lead you through pain so you'd collapse. He did it so you'd rise. He breaks you not to weaken you, but to make you real. He takes away what's unstable so you can rebuild on faith's foundation. He allows your heart to break, not to punish you, but to teach you to love with light instead of fear. When you walk forward no longer as the wounded one, but as the reborn one, you realize the true miracle isn't that God brings the right person into your life. It's that He transforms you into the right person. Someone who can love without losing themselves, give without running empty, and stand firmly in His peace. That's the salvation God prepared for you from the beginning, not through desperate prayers, but through the journey of breaking, healing, and returning. Because sometimes, to teach the soul how to fly, God must first allow the wings to break. And in that very breaking, you learn to rise through faith. Subscribe to this channel for more.